Welcome to MRE Uncut, where we'll give you real and practical insights into the real estate scene in Melbourne. We'll discuss what's happening in the industry, all backed by MRE's history of over 30 years in the game. With that said, let's jump into this week's episode of MRE Uncut.
Welcome again to MRE's podcast. Stephen Fitzsimon here. I've got Peter Hoymans.
Hello.
And Jared O'Donnell.
Thank you, Steve.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about careers in real estate, what we're looking for in new candidates and what opportunities can arise in a agency similar to MRE, and how you can present yourself best to take advantage of those opportunities. Across real estate, there is a myriad of different careers that can evolve. In smaller agencies, you're basically breaking it down into rentals and sales. As the agency size grows, you can look at other aspects such as marketing, management, systems and processes, IT, the whole shooting match. At MRE, I think one of the strengths that we've got now that we're at this scale is that we've put a lot of time and effort into developing people. Peter, what's the saying you say about if they don't?
Oh, firstly, I don't know. That's a John McGrath.
Ah, sorry.
And I'm sure Johnny borrowed it from somewhere else, but if they don't grow, they go.
Yeah, and
I first picked that up from John, I'm going to say 98 or 2000.
There you go.
Like
Well, he gave it to me and yeah. I thought it was you, so you've done well.
I didn't claim it though.
No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. I just would have done that.
Yeah.
So thanks, John, for your influence on the business.
Yeah.
But that's always rung strong through my tenure. So it's now we've got a lot of young beginners and sometimes not so young. Our most recent hires have been perhaps new to real estate or new to an agency of our size.
We've got some really old people. Like I think one's like 26.
Yeah, ancient. Yeah, almost on their ear.
Yeah.
But Jared, can you give us an overview quickly of what your team consists of?
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, I think it's a bit hard for new people coming into real estate to understand what they're getting themselves into, and it's very difficult.
In a positive way,
What does that mean?
No, I just meant being able to differentiate the good from the bad.
Agencies?
Agencies and jobs, just jobs in general.
That stuff.
A flash brand, a flash office.
Well, people might think that, one's the same as all, right? But as we know, the differences are they're worlds apart in some places, and we're in a very fortunate position with the scale we have, where we can bring a lot of young people in, train them up our way, really put some good time into them, and expect that they give the great effort back, and come out the other side well-oiled, seasoned professionals. And
in terms of your group that you've got, how many years are in your team now?
We've just hired number 11, which we've got our livability team. What
does that mean, mate?
It's a cheesy term, isn't it?
I call them the lovability
team.
Oh, that's worse.
Well, no.
If you give good service,
I do. I love them.
Oh, you love them, okay.
They do.
I thought it was just...
No, they're at the coalface.
Yeah, they are definitely at the coalface.
They're opening hundreds of properties every week, talking to thousands of people every week. That's a hard job.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's why I call them lovability.
Yeah. I now understand it.
They are lovable. Some
I love
more than
them.
others.
Is it? The love heart thing. Sorry.
That one.
No good. Yeah, that one.
But not just leasing work. That's a typical junior role. Leasing work, getting on the road. But we get them to support our property management department in other ways. Routine inspections, ingoings, outgoings, a very good variety of work. The idea that they can come in and whatever that next step may be that they're striving to or that they discover in themselves, then they're ready for it. We've got lots of different tasks. They can pick up skills in lots of different areas and, come out the other side of the pipeline.
So you're setting them up for their next step.
Yeah, I mean, they have to take the step themselves, of course.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen overnight. And
got to do the work. It doesn't
work.
The role in the area, really in the business, I think isn't that relevant. You've got to do the work. You've got to want to do you've got to put in some time.
But how long does it take to be a
in my
competent
eyes,
real estate agent?
Well, I reckon I'm getting reasonably good at it at 34 years.
And I think
you can be pretty good in 3 or 4, and you can be great in 10.
There you go.
But sorry, the point I was going to sort of make was that if someone comes into MRE and they show a bit of potential and they're on time and they're doing all the right things that match our expectations as a brand, we're looking right. What's that person's growth path?
Where are they going now?
What's the next opportunity? Are they really happy in that role? Because the other thing we would always say is you can't be great unless you love it. If you're doing something that you're only kind of, just getting by, you're only ever going to be good. Who wants to be good? Chocolate's good, right? You don't want to be good. You want to be great. In fact, you don't want to be great. You want to be extraordinary and exceptional. And to do that, you have to do something that you truly, passionately, deeply love. So that's from my point of view, with working with our HR area and our senior managers and our team leaders, that's the magic of getting people to be their best. What's the best version of themselves? Well, you need them to be doing something they really enjoy doing every day.
And I think they've got to learn what that is, because it's funny in your team, Jared, you'll often get candidates who, when they join, have got aspirations for one career path, and then that evolves over the time they're in your team.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite parts about the pathway that we have currently is that it gives a great level of exposure to the different segments, right? So if someone,
how many segments, divisions in our business?
I mean, infinite.
I know, but how many are there? Like, I just
do you want a boring answer? No,
just reel them
property
off.
Management, BDM, sales.
Yeah.
And then, I have a category 4, I say everything else. Marketing,
admin,
video, administration.
Yeah. List goes on.
Concierge reception.
Yeah.
HR.
CEO, founder.
No, but that's
Someone's taken.
Yeah. That's 9. Yeah. I just thought I'd throw that in because there's a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Once you're in and you know what I'm saying, is you could there's so many areas you could go to.
Yeah. And that's the benefit, I think, of if you're starting off in real estate and you go to a 3-man corner shop.
Well, let's do some stories, like just off the top of our head.
Yep.
Any one you can think of?
Yep.
Let me do one.
Okay.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
So we now have Studio MRE.
Yes.
Which was my original sort of little seed of an idea to be able to do in-house marketing, and then my grander vision was video and creative design, doing our own brochures and digital strategy, marketing. So much. It's so big.
Yep.
And we had a very demure, quiet, but highly talented young lady come to us named Emily Wookie. And Em's first interview, I said, "Well, what do you want to do? What are you thinking?" And she looked at me and said, "I just want a job," and which was very humble of her, given her academic achievements and scholarship and her portfolio of beautiful work. And now Em, in 2 years, is team lead of Studio.
Yeah.
We have an incredible copywriter. We have an incredible digital strategist. We have Em as our creative
guru,
brand master, overseeing all of that work.
And it's growing.
We are now working with an external agency coordinating with Natalie Nose to Tail. Em's working there. And we've got 2 more people in the pipeline, being a videographer, so that we can up the stakes on the vid, because that's the world now. As much as I don't like TikTok,
where it's going,
right? And a graduate designer. So Em will go from wanting a job to managing 5 people, and actually fulfilling a component of MRE that's really making a difference. That's amazing.
And having a pipeline of work that is.
She's sitting in this room, by the way, for anyone listening. So I am talking her up a little bit because she's here. Not really.
I don't think you are.
Very fair. Good
Is that true?
That's a good
I think
take.
that's all true. But that's one.
Well,
So that's just one story. But we've got a few like that.
Oh, yeah.
You tell one, Steve. What
Yeah,
do you got?
I like looking at the progression that we've had from leasing consultants or livability experts over the time. We've got people that have come in as livability that have then progressed into business development. People have come in as livability, progressed into property management, and then gone from property management to senior property management, then gone from senior property management to team leaders, and just excelled because their continual learning has then put them into a space where they are experts in their field and highly sought after. So that's personal growth.
Give us an individual that's currently in the business that we can talk about. That's like a real life, like a ripper one.
Well, we look at Michael Faber. I think
Father's a good one. 7 years.
Yeah, I think it's 7 and a bit now. I think for Michael.
Came in as a cadet.
Came in as a leasing consultant.
Yes.
Trying to start the journey in a Melbourne real estate agency after doing some sales elsewhere in the country, and has never looked back. It wasn't long before he progressed into an assistant sales role and then into a sales role, and
so now he's
senior sales and now sales manager
of how many?
I think there's 11 now.
11.
Running 11.
Listing
40 a month and
doing 60 or 70 appraisals, listing 40 a month, selling 25, 30 a month.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a bad story, is it?
No.
And he's just sort of warming up.
Yep. Oh, he's got potential.
And he's getting a bit old though.
Oh yeah, he's really old now. He's
just turned 28 or 9.
I think he might be a little bit older than 28.
He's not very old.
No, he's not very old. No.
Long service.
Makes us feel. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. So he's a good one.
He's a good one.
What's another one?
You could look at Izzy. Izzy, our legendary Izzy. Yeah. She came in.
She just reminded me a minute ago that she's been there 7 years.
There you go.
Yeah. Which has gone like a flash because she came to us.
So she must be 25.
She came to us from school.
Yeah, there you
She's
go.
18.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Izzy used to go and drop the mail off and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
now
right.
She's sort of like the cultural heartbeat.
Yes. Yeah. And so she's had an interesting role because she's gone into the reception area and then come out of that and gone into admin, BDM admin. She worked with me for a while in the BDM team. Then she's gone back into then sort of a HR. And now she's cultural. So,
I mean, we had a really important client come in the other day.
Yeah.
And I sort of put the word out and Iz was all over it. And she was polishing glass and straightening chairs and telling people off that their desks were messy. And anyway, this client came up and said, wow, this is like really impressive. Who's Izzy? And like, you know, she's got this impression. So to think when she came on, she was quite shy and definitely not shy now.
No.
So that's a fantastic story.
Yeah.
Can you think of one?
I buy into the Anthony Lewstock quite a bit.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I love Ant.
Yeah.
I love
the energy. I'm just trying to think where
the occasional anger. He came through the leasing team.
Yeah, that's right. I remember him itching.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just busting to get into sales.
Yeah. We put him through the development.
We made him wait.
Yeah.
A bit cruel, really.
Well, you've got to earn your stripes and you've got to know your stuff. Like it's one thing to want to do something and another thing to be able to answer questions when you're in that role with authority. And that's the journey that sometimes team members want to rush. Yeah. We want to promote them, but if they're not ready, then they'll fall off and they'll fail. And that's the last thing that you want for them.
Yeah.
You want them to feel that when they walk into that role, if somebody asks them a question, they can answer it and they're comfortable communicating about that subject matter. So when our livability team now, they go into sales, they go into BDM, they know that every building inside out. They know where the gyms are.
Zach's a good one too.
Zach's awesome.
I'm going to say it's nearly 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
I think property management.
Correct.
And then for maybe 5 of that.
Yeah.
And then
progressing through the ranks.
Yeah, through the ranks, different bits and bobs. Now, basically operations.
Yeah.
Including running our offshore team.
Yeah.
And has just spent a week in the Philippines with the offshore team.
Yeah.
working with them. I mean, like, huge growth.
Huge.
And he's happy. Whenever I see him, he's really happy. I texted him last night, actually. We had an IT problem last night. And I texted him at 9:30. I said, mate,
She's our IT fixer guy as well.
well, yeah. Well,
Probably
he is.
doesn't want
And I said to him,
unofficially,
I said,
you
mate,
run
I
away
need
from
the
that.
Don't
24-hour
don't listen to
thing.
this one, Zach.
And he texted me this morning at 6 o'clock. He said, sorry, I was already asleep.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's disciplined and like he's on.
wow.
So anyway, I got the number and sorted the problem out. One of our people got hacked, so I had to.
Fun.
All good. Yeah, we sorted it. So Zach's a good story.
Maybe I've got a bit of recency bias, but the last 18 months, we would have had 6 come up from junior positions that are now fully functioning professionals in their scene.
Yeah.
A couple of property managers, I mean, I could rattle through names, but
But they're getting the bedding that they need to be able to excel in their next position.
it's
Did you say
impressive
bedding?
and it's
Bedding.
Is it foundation?
Well, probably. I don't never
Yeah.
use the right words, mate. I've
No,
never been
bedding. What are
correcting
you?
words now.
Oh, that's like a mattress shop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, foundation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you.
foundation.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I don't talk very well.
We have a lot of systems and training, and
Yeah.
it's helping.
English was my fifth.
There's a
Fifth subject.
lovability.
Lovability.
Watch that space because there's lots of talent in there,
Yeah.
and I'm really interested to see where they go.
Yeah, but I think the challenge that you've got, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I'm going to start in an agency, we'd love you to come and speak to us because there's always an opportunity within the firm. But it's not about that. It's about choosing the right firm that's going to give you those learning opportunities and not throw you in the deep end where you sink. Because if you talk about the sales agents that have joined us with experience in other agencies, they go out, door knock, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Go out and do that. For us, it's nurture and educate and develop a skill set and learn over time and learn property and then
It definitely feels like high care. I mean, I walk through it, just going to get a cup of tea and, I'm walking past sales, BDM. There's a lot of mentoring happening.
yeah.
I think the connection piece doesn't get spoken about enough. I mean,
Sorry, what do you mean?
The connection piece of just people from in other businesses, right? Different departments, different functions. They don't come together the way that our people do. Maybe that's the work of social club. Maybe
Is
it's
that
the
your own
office
personal
setup.
experience or?
Oh, absolutely. It's what we see every day, right? Like
the feedback.
the friendships and the camaraderie from a high-performing sales agent to one of our livability team members or an assistant PM or the person working the
So
front
you
desk.
just mean like cross divisions in the business?
Yeah, it's how people learn and grow. Like, I mean, half of it's going to be, practical, but the other half of it's the relationship and the connection.
And we're
people
still
can come in
maturing.
and-
Everybody's maturing.
Oh, yeah.
So
You especially.
I've got
He's
lots
got
to
a ways
go.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're 47. You've gone from child to adult now.
Yeah. Well, I'm
I
almost
think
there.
I think I'm close.
Still got to learn a little bit.
Any other
Ask my
great
wife.
stories we could tell?
For progression
Just
pieces.
while we're here. Yeah.
I think I don't know if I've got an individual one, but I look at the learnings that the guys go through. There's continual training, and nobody is sitting there going, "I'm not receiving training."
Why don't I tell your story?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut over you. I've cut over you there.
That's all right.
Do you want me to do that?
Can if you want. See if you get it right.
Well, it was 2000 and we had 250 properties under management.
We did.
And Anne, who for those listening was at the time my sort of pseudo PA, helping me out to things like mail and whatever that I'm not great at, she would come to me and say, Stephen Fitzsimon's on the phone. He's called in. He's looking for a job. And I said, tell him nothing on. We've got nothing going on. And so then the following Monday she'd come back in. She'd say, it's that guy Steve again. He's on the phone. He's really insistent. He doesn't want to get off the phone till you speak to him. I said, well, just tell him I'm at the doctor or something. This went on for at least 3 months. And I just kept saying, no, we can't afford it. We can't afford another guy, so on and so forth. Long and the short, Anne comes in one day. She really cracked it. She said, well, you either speak to him or you tell him, don't ever ring back again because I've had enough. So I said, okay, cool. Met Steve-O. We got on straight away and he just said to me, I will come on. I want to do property management. I want to do BDM. We'll do this. We'll do that. And I went, you know what? I'm going to give this guy a go. So Steve came on as a property manager originally at how many people?
What staff?
Yeah,
I was
we a team of 6 or 7 or something.
6. I was a
6 or 7, and we're 250, and the rest is history.
It sounds like Steve.
Yeah, and it's been this
Really persistent.
we've done so much stuff. I mean, I won't go through it because we don't have the time, but to anyone listening, young guys, young agents, persevere. Like if you've got an agency in mind that you want to have a go with, yeah, go and hassle the director.
Steve, were you ever going to give up on the calls?
No, I don't think so. But
He's got very low empathy. So rejection is not like it doesn't register.
No.
Yeah,
What?
it's true. No, he does.
I'll just call him again.
It's not.
He thought you were the doctors.
It's not an emotion he has.
You're at the dentist?
He just doesn't have the emotion.
It's a lot of appointments.
You can't tell. Like he doesn't know is just another word to him.
I'll put the one thing that I had when I was at that stage was that I'd had experience working in other agencies, and so I knew what I didn't want. And then when I walked into MRE, I realised what I did want. So if you've got other experience and you know that if you go for the next job interview and it's not what you want, then you're going to be frustrated and you're just going to be forever, fighting to get the one that you wanted. So if the one that you want is still there, go and get it. And if you don't get it that time, get it in the future.
I mean, if you're a young person, find out where the director's going to be. I don't know. Just sneak up on them.
Yeah, hassle them.
And just go and give them a card. I don't know. Give them a handwritten letter in an envelope, and they'll open it and read it. And they go, you know what? That kid's got persistence.
He's different.
Yeah,
different.
That's all you got to do.
All right.
Simple as that.
Stand out from the pack.
Really simple as that. Oh, that's a wrap, isn't it?
I think so.
Thanks,
So,
everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.